Hello and welcome to another step-by-step tutorial. I'm going to walk you through, and that first scene there, you can see that I do make mistakes. That was I'd sectioned it wrong. There's a little stray hair, so I started again, and now I'm doing V-line graduation. So I'm basically taking V-like diagonal sections backwards, and sort of for symmetry I am keeping it like the same angle as what the hairline is, so you can see that the diagonal section is just trying to create the best flow to take it from the front of the hair round to the back, so I can follow from the temple area right round to the back of the head. So I'm just taking those sections, and you can see I'm just following the same line, so I get that really nice cascade of layers that folds all the way back, and you get a really nice flow on your pomp. I got into my last sort of tutorials, I did I sped up some of it as a hope to kind of getting through the video, making it shorter. I got some response and some feedback saying that they prefer it to be in real time, so that they could kind of have this working in the background or on the TV screen whilst they try and do it themselves. So this is completely in normal speed, where I have edited through. So this is actually, I think, a runtime of 23 minutes on a haircut that took me about 45. So this is a way of doing it. So you saw me do the V-line graduation on this one side, so all of that, like all the layers kind of fold back until the occipital bone at the back. Now I'm going to taper the temple area on the right hand side, so that's 1.5 closed, and then you can see 1 finger depth below that is a mini trimmer line, which is the while high vis. So I have, that is 0 gaps, but it's it's really quite short. See, I'm having a chat with Luke in this. It's obviously made him laugh about something. So okay, so 1.5 closed, and then the mini trimmer line is 1 finger depth below, and it's at an angle, sort of like to take you into the depth of the hair, but leave enough on the arch so you get a nice frame. So now I'm rubbing that line out with a half guard open and then a half guard closed. So now after this, actually I've done all my steps I do, because I'm so OCD when it comes to this stuff. So I've knocked out most of this, and now I've gone to taking the guard off, and I'm doing an open clipper and a closed clipper. But this is only my first pass at doing the taper. This is nowhere near finished yet, because the voices in my head won't let me stop. Makes me sound mad, doesn't it? That I can't actually stop myself from cutting. So there I am, I'm trying to get that nice smooth transition, but I want it to be condensed. I want it to look like it's a light underneath that temple area, so almost like a light shining up into the taper. That's how I like the contrast between light and dark. God, I'm such a geek. Okay, so that was my seniors, which are completely 0 gaps with a ceramic blade. Back to the high vis. So I'm just edging this up, but like I said, this is nowhere near finished, and I changed the camera angle in a minute just so you can see me take out some more and make it even smoother. So it's not like each pass it has to be perfect. I'm just refining, and then refining some more. And obviously Luke talking and moving his ears, it's great fun trying to taper that in. I was like, if you could just shut up. Let me finish your haircut. Okay, so I'll change the angle here. So this is just an open clipper, and I'm just taking out a little bit of that line that was left there. If you notice that I haven't gone above where that 1.5 closed was, I've stayed, everything I'm doing is underneath that section. So I continue just to try and take that line out. make it as smooth as possible underneath that. And I just, you see where I put that 1.5 closed in, sort of from the temple to the top of the ear in that curve. That's almost like my control line. I don't go above it. I always just work underneath it. Back to the high vis, just to edge that up one more time. And just keep, you know, you can see that my OCD in full effect as I'm like, I've got to rub that out, take that out. Honestly, like World War III in my head. So now I'm just edging that up above the ear. And just knocking out some of the grainy bits. And then we get onto the back. So there's 2 fingers by the occipital bone. So, you know, that's where I just put my fingers there was the occipital bone. I'm working just underneath that on the curve of the skull. And this is a 1.5 closed. You can see how I'm awkwardly holding the clipper there. It's because the tripod with my camera is... I'm trying to get as close as possible so you can see what's going on. But sometimes it does kind of get in the way. But like I said, you know, I've tried to explain before that my channel is that I film these are my customers. So I try and pick, this is actually like a customer during the day at work. This isn't a model. So this is, I'm just filming at the same time. And after Luke left, you know, I had other customers that went on and worked a full day. So that can't get more real. This is a mini trimmer line. So this is 2 fingers underneath that. So this is, like I showed before in another video, a two finger taper. So 2 fingers below the from the occipital bone is just underneath the skull is where I do my guideline. And then 2 fingers below that is a mini trimmer line. And now I'm foiling all of that off. Get it nice and smooth, then clean it all off, get rid of all the cuticle. And now I'm going to rub that line out. So I go with a 1/2 guard open, and then a 1/2 guard closed. While closing the taper as I get closer to the bottom, and then just take out some of the line. Working in little sections which are as wide as the clipper. And then move on to the side. Then take the guard off to take out the very bottom line. But once again, I'm working that 1.5 closed, sort of 2 fingers below the occipital bone. And now I'm just working underneath that. I don't move up. I don't move any higher than that. That's my guideline, and I just work underneath it. And the action of the clipper, you see, it's very small. I think a lot of people make the mistake of big C shapes, big action. But it's very difficult to stay in control of the actual bit that you're working on. So it's very small movements work for me. So I try, because I'd like, the whole point of this is to craft the best haircut from underneath the hair that you've got, rather than, you know, cutting loads off. It's what you leave on. And I'll keep reiterating that. So you've got to find the perfect haircut underneath all of the hair that you have, rather than trying to just cut loads off and hope for the best. So that's why everything is pick a guideline, work underneath it, refine, refine, refine. So I just change the angle a little bit, and I'm working on the left hand side. You can see that this, you know, the taper's starting to appear now. Luke has amazing hair, so you know, his videos always really kick when I put them online, you know, it's because he's just got great hair. That's my son in the background. He's another fantastic barber. So the guard comes off and I just refine this area. See, it's when I get down to these bits is when my OCD starts to kick in, because I start to imagine all the bits that, because I'm just always this close to it, you know, I'm only like a few inches away from the actual haircut itself. I can see every blemish, I can see every little bit that's, you know, maybe a little bit wrong. I'm talking to Luke here about something wrong. And I can see every blemish, so I'm there for ages trying to take all this out. But if I take one step backwards, it all just disappears. Now, okay, so now I'm going to walk you through this bit. Now this is on condensing, or what I call condensing, which is I've done the taper and it all fades, but I want it to be like more pop between light and dark. And the key to do that is slightly raising your skin line, but leaving your guideline of the dark where it is. So I'm just pushing that up ever so slightly and just reworking that tapered area. And this is a real kind of like secret, I think, to my work recently, is that I finish it all off so it tapers and fades nice, and then I push it some more and I just push the line up ever so slightly. So this is just refining half guard open, half guard closed. Every guard I ever put on, I always go long, which is the taper, always goes all the way down. See, all the way down, push it up a little bit more, so I'm not taking off too much. Always refining. It's always about leaving on rather than taking off. Foil shaver just to push that line up, and you can see it's like, you probably can't really tell much of a difference on there, but it does make a massive difference towards the taper at the end. Just pushing that up ever so slightly, we're talking a fraction of an inch, but just gives you a pop between light and dark in a condensed area. Now we're going to line it up just inside the hairline. You just got to make sure you've got the really good trimmers to do this. That's the key. These are Wild High Vis. I received these recently. They're incredible. The blade's amazing. And I've used every mini trimmer out there, and they all start off good, don't get me wrong. But these High Vis, I must admit, very, very good. You can see the line is so crisp, and that's all the trimmer. I'm refining and taking a little bit off at a time. Once again, it's just OCD. just get on with it, Luke. But yeah, bit by bit, refine. Keep the line straight. Use good tools. I'm just going to go over it again, just keep brushing it over, not taking off too much, because I don't want to, you can run, the danger is that you'll start to eat into too much of the hairline. And I want it to be crisp and for it to last, but also grow out nicely. If you eat into the hairline too much, it grows out abysmally. It's all well and good giving them a good haircut, like it looks incredible as they leave, but you also want this to look good for the next few weeks as well, until you see them again. Yep, overdoing it again. So at least you get to see, exactly how this haircut is put together. Look, I'm not some wizard that can do it in one pass every time. It's refine. Yes, I do take my time, but that's how I'm built. It doesn't mean this is for everybody, but this is how I like to do a haircut, and how I imagine the client wants it to look. So I'm just doing a bit of mini trimmer over comb, just to take out some little bits. You see, it's just the very bottom, and mini trimmer over comb or clipper over comb. It's just the hair goes into the spine of the comb, and you're looking to just take off a little bit. My hand's kind of in the way. There you go. You can see it's just in the spine of the comb, and then coming across from right to left, as I'm right-handed, kind of takes the bulk out, and then I use the comb as almost like a clipper guard, and for refining, I just come up. So right to left takes away bulk. Refine is when you're using the clipper and the comb's a bit like a guard. Same thing now. Well, I'm just refining a little bit, and now refining with some thinning scissors, which are my Kenshi blade scissors. Just very lightly taking out some bulk, taking out some blemishes, and making it as smooth as possible. That's it. And now I'm just going to move up my thinning scissors and just sort of take out some bulk of the layer that's sitting on top of the occipital bone, just to accentuate that curve. And some point cutting into the actual nape of the head. Now onto the blow dry. So we're getting lots of heat into the root. I've used some salt spray, which is uppercut salt spray, just to get me some, volume and some tack. So, the blow dry is key, but like what an old boss of mine said, if you can't feel it at the root and you don't get the root dry, it's pointless. So placing it into, the style that I want, finding that flow that we got from the scissor haircut at the beginning, and I'm just trying to get some maximum lift. You can see I'm really working that root and lifting and vertical and getting good tension, and then putting heat on it, and then taking the dryer away and letting it cool. Okay, so I'm changing the angle now, just so you can see the lift that I'm getting at the front, and where that tapers. Actually, this side of his hair, it really sticks out, so that's why I stay right underneath that arch between his temple and the top of his ear, because if I went up any higher than that, then this would just puff out, and you'd lose that shape. So now I'm just drying this, placing into the style that I want, taking my time, and why not refine some more just once you've got it brushed into the style, just to make sure that it's all crispy clean and you've got everything that you want and everything's in the right place and you're getting a desired look now. Some freehand just to make sure that it looks okay. He has got great hair though, right? So now I'm going to use uppercut powder, and stupidly I don't even have the lid off. So I'll leave it in there. See, nothing ever goes according to plan. And yes, I could have edited that out, but wouldn't be real, would it? Okay, so now you can see me looking around trying to find a comb in my box, which is like organised chaos, and you can see like 3 cups of coffee and a Lucozade in the background. So now I'm going to just comb this into place. And I must say this about Luke's hair. Luke's hair is incredible, but it is so straight, and it's poke straight, and there's no movement to this. So if you take off too much, or you go too short, nothing happens. It just sits there. It just flicks over, and you don't get any. Your style just won't be there, so you need to leave as much length on as possible. Touch of hairspray. And then the finished look. So you can see it sort of sits really nicely, the taper's there. See it from all angles, it's not edited, this is straight from a custom Rinner chair, lots of different angles of it. And where I've condensed that taper, it just sits really nicely.